Welcome to LanguageHelp. Today we'll try to answer an IELTS Cue Card. We'll show you our effective 4-box method, and you can use this method to answer any cue card. We'll discuss vocabulary and we'll show you an example answer. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and let's get to business. In case this is your first time, let me tell you about IELTS Cue Cards. When you do the second part of the IELTS Speaking Test, you'll be given a piece of paper with a question written on it. This is what's called a cue card. You'll be given an empty paper, a pencil, and only 1 minute to structure and organize your answer. After the minute is over, you're supposed to speak on the topic for about 2 minutes. And then you'll answer 1 or 2 follow-up questions. Not all questions will be familiar to you, and you're not expected to tell the truth. So you can lie as much as you want, if you want to, that is. In today's example, the cue card question is to describe a birthday celebration you have attended recently. Well, it's a birthday, what's not to like? The cake, the confetti, the balloons, the cake? Let's discuss the cues and see what we can do. The first cue is whose birthday it was. This person can be a family member, or a friend, or even a famous person you know. On your paper, draw a box and note down the tense you'll be using to answer this cue. If you cannot decide on the tense, use the tense of the cue. In this case, it's the simple past tense. The person in our example will be a brother. Now, who attended the party? Well, the first step is always to establish a tense, and here we'll use the simple past. We'll need vocabulary related to family, travel, relatives, presents. So we need names of countries, and we need to be comfortable with numbers to describe where the people came from and how many they were. The third cue needs us to talk about where it took place. We'll have to choose a location and talk about preparations. So think of the cake, the chef, the backyard, and don't forget to establish a tense. In this case, you'll be using the past tense. Now, did we enjoy the party or not? We need to talk about feelings, food, discussions that happened, maybe songs. If you're following with the exercise, your paper should look something like this. Now that the box is ready and you're ready to speak, remember not to look at your notes for too long. So try to maintain eye contact with your examiner. Try to give an equal amount of time to each cue. And remember to use unfamiliar vocabulary, a few collocations, idioms, and a mix of tenses if you can. Use these correctly or not at all, because you need to stay on the safe side. Before we start with the answer, remember to subscribe and click the bell icon to receive all updates on our IELTS speaking course. You can also pause here if you want to try on your own, and then you can come back and compare. Now here's our example answer. The cue is whose birthday it was. Our answer is, attending birthdays to me is a commitment that I take very seriously, especially when it's within the family. My brother's 30th birthday came about last month. He's a very popular figure, so the whole family attended his birthday. Commitment is when you are dedicated to a cause. A figure is another word for person. To attend is to be present somewhere. The next cue is who attended the party. Our answer is, friends and family flew in from the 4 corners of the earth. Apart from my parents, siblings, friends, and neighbors, we had my aunt and uncle from New Zealand and a family relative from Brazil. Additionally, my mom's best friend flew in from the UK with her children. Around 50 people in total attended the celebration, and I think some 60 gifts were offered. 4 corners of the earth is an expression that means all parts of the world. Your siblings are your brothers and sisters. A family relative is a person who is part of your family. A celebration is a social gathering held to celebrate something. The next cue is where it took place. Our answer is, the celebration took place in the backyard of my grandparents' home. It took us 15 days of preparations. There was a lot of work. The chef, the food, the cake, the gift, let alone the accommodation for the people visiting from abroad. And on top of all of that, we had to keep it all a secret. I had expected my brother to know about the preparations because he always tells when something is going on. But he proved me wrong and was genuinely surprised when people started to trickle in. To take place is to happen or to occur. Preparation is when something is done to get ready for an event or undertaking. Accommodation is the provision of a room or lodgings. Genuinely means really or truly. The final cue is to explain how much you enjoyed this birthday party. Our answer is, the one thing I enjoyed the most was the food. Everybody filled up on the cake, and I had the food all to myself. I also liked the part where my brother graciously thanked everyone, and especially Grandpa and Grandma. It's absolutely satisfying when you see someone offer gratitude when gratitude is due. My birthdays are not as popular, but I'm not one to feel jealous of my brother, and I'm definitely not one to turn down food. Graciously means in a courteous, kind, and pleasant manner. Satisfying is something that gives fulfillment or pleasure. Gratitude or appreciation is the state of being thankful. When something is due, it is deserved. Not want to do something means very unlikely that I would do something because it's not my normal behavior. This was our example answer. Share your answer with us and we'll give you feedback. Also subscribe and ring the bell to receive the next cue card.